U.S. President Donald Trump and the Ukrainian president are due to meet in Davos. This as the U.S. president reiterated that Putin and Zelensky were close to a deal. In fact, Trump said that Putin had agreed to join his board of peace, Trump's ambitious plan. However, the Kremlin maintaining that it is still studying the invite. And this comes as the U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff has said that the talks to end the war in Ukraine have made a lot of progress and are down to one issue between Kiev and Moscow. In fact, Witkoff said that the two of them would not stay in the Russian capital overnight and would fly straight to Abu Dhabi, where the talks would continue in military-to-military working groups. The Kremlin has said this week, remember, that President Putin would meet with Witkoff during the visit. In fact, this inclusion of the Russian president has caused particular concern among U.S. allies reportedly, but especially in Ukraine as it seeks an end to Moscow's nearly 4-year-old war. The Ukrainian president, Volodymyr Zelensky, has meanwhile voiced fears that Trump's push to seize Greenland could divert focus away from Russia's invasion of his country.
We have indeed received a personal invitation from the President of the United States, Donald Trump, to join the new international structure he is creating, a peace council. In this regard, I would like to first thank the U.S. President for this offer. We have always supported and continue to support any efforts aimed at strengthening international stability. We also note the current U.S. administration's contribution to the search for a solution to the Ukrainian crisis.
Отмечаем также и вклад действующей администрации США в поиске.
And on the war front, meanwhile, overnight Russian strikes on the Ukrainian city killed 2 people, injured 1, authorities said on Wednesday, while officials in Russia reported 3 deaths following the Ukrainian drone strikes. And in a statement posted on Telegram, the head of the regional military administration has said that a 77-year-old man and a 72-year-old woman were killed. A 53-year-old woman was injured in the Russian strikes. Meanwhile, former U.S. President Special Envoy for Ukraine Keith Kellogg has said that if Ukraine survives this winter, the advantage in the war will be on its side and not on the Russian side. Kellogg stated this during a panel discussion at the Ukrainian House in Davos. So amid all of that, all eyes on what really unfolds at Davos. It's a crucial day ahead. Remember, Donald Trump arrived at the summit yesterday and delivered that key address, one that has been closely watched. And the events there at the World Economic Forum's annual meeting will have far-reaching implications because of the ripple effect as a result of those discussions and also what unfolds during those meetings and the optics as well. Let's go straight across now to Siddhant Sibal, who's been tracking those developments on the ground there. Siddhant, let's just first talk about what is expected to unfold over the next few hours. The crucial meeting, of course, that is expected to take place between Donald Trump and the Ukrainian president. Amid all of that, of course, the Board of Peace signing ceremony that is also expected to take place in just a short while from now.
Well, yes, it's a packed day here in Davos, and we have been bringing you all the continuous coverage. Now, today the focus remains on the U.S. President Donald Trump chairing the charter of the Gaza Peace Board and also his key meetings, including with President Zelensky, focus clearly on West Asia and on the conflict in Ukraine. Now, we know that earlier it looked like that there is a hesitancy from President Zelensky to travel to Davos. In fact, he's on way right now, even as the meeting is slated for later today. The day has just broken here in Davos. But the big focus will, in a short while from now, perhaps in a few minutes, will be the signing of the charter of Gaza's Board of Peace. Now, this is a charter which is quite controversial. Now, this is a unilateral measure by the U.S. president, and he's invited several countries from India to Argentina to Turkey to many European countries. Few have accepted, like Pakistan, like Israel, like Qatar. Few have opted out, like Norway. and few have remained mum. But we'll get the full picture as to who attended the signing ceremony in a short while from now. In fact, Pakistan is not only represented by the Pakistani Prime Minister, but also the de facto leader, the Pakistani Army Chief, Mr. Munir. Now, the focus will be as to how this board works, because many are saying that there are attempts to reduce the role of the United Nations and come up with this body where Donald Trump takes all the decision.
Right, and the latest update at this point being, we are learning that the Ukrainian president has, in fact, reached Zurich, so he is going to be on his way to Davos for the World Economic Forum's annual meeting and is going to be meeting President Trump in a while from now. Those are the expected developments, like we just pointed out to our viewers. But Siddharth, coming back to what has already unfolded, give us a sense of the sentiment on the ground and the reactions that have been coming in post Donald Trump's highly anticipated address yesterday at Davos. Key messaging there, particularly when it comes to the United States' relationship with the European Union.
Well, Molly, I'm standing just in front of the U.S. House. In fact, let my camera person Neeraj Patel show you the visuals of the U.S. House and, of course, a lot of security present in front of the U.S. House. This is a church. Now, it is the U.S. House, and this is the hub of all activities when it comes to the U.S. delegation. In fact, this is the largest U.S. delegation this time present, led by the U.S. president, but also the presence of top cabinet officials, including Marco Rubio and others. Now, we know that essentially the American side is keen to send a message from the Davos speech. The speech reiterated Donald Trump's claims on Greenland, only to be overturned in few hours, because he said that a deal has happened. Now, the NATO chief has said that they were able to have a deal, but there were no discussions on the sovereignty-related issue of Greenland. What kind of deal it is, nobody knows so far. Donald Trump has only hinted that there is a deal, but it will be a sigh of relief for Europe, even as there were anxious moments. The European leaders were saying that it's time for an independent Europe. But one thing is for clear when it comes to the Davos speech or comments before that, the rhetoric by Donald Trump, that Europe is completely tired with Donald Trump's tantrums and is looking to change the order that came about after World War II, when the Europeans essentially outsourced their security to United States.
Indeed, and it will be very interesting to watch out for what unfolds up ahead over there at the Davos meeting, but also we're looking at the developments that are taking place apart from that, the key meetings that are expected as well. We're leaving it there for the moment. Thanks very much for that. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.